Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day to Seraman. Let me introduce myself and my group member. My name is Rasyid bin Abdul Rajak and I represent my group to presenting our group assignment which is analyzing the strategic management of IOI Group. So this is the list of my group member: Ahmad, Syazwi, Sabur, Nurhikmah, Amira, Syahurah, myself, Rasyid, and Siti, Aqilah. Alright, so we move to the first slide. So we choose IOI Group to be the company that we analyze. So the founder of IOI Group is Dato Lee Shin Cheng and established in 1969. So in the first this company start their business, they was only a plantation company that headquartered in Malaysia. IOI Group contain with two subsidiaries, which is IOI Corporation Berhad and IOI Properties Berhad. So IOI mission is to achieve responsible and sustainable commercial stakeholders, caring the community and the environment, and adopting best practices to be globally competitive. The vision of IOI Group is to be the leading and sustainable Malaysian business corporation with global presence. So they are some of the core value that we found in IOI Group, which is integrity, commitment, team spirit, cost efficiency, innovation, and excellence. In addition, IOI also listed in Bursa Saham Malaysia and also in Bursa Saham Singapore, and that known as Bumitama Agri Limited. IOI business was especially in plantation, located in three regions, which is East Malaysia, Peninsular Malaysia, and Indonesia. So in East Malaysia, there was 64% of palm oil estate, while in 25% in Peninsular Malaysia, and remaining 11% is in Indonesia. Okay, so we move to next slide, which is environmental scanning of external factor analysis. One of the tools we use here is spatial analysis, which stands for political, economic, socio-cultural, technological, environmental, and legal and regulatory. So what the important issue that I want to mention here is about the political factors. The main issue in political factors is when the EU, European Union, that have moved to reduce their reliance of palm oil and planning to ban the palm oil from entering the market of Europe. So this will give effect that will remove about half of palm oil imports to Europe. And then, because lack of time, I need to proceed to the next slide. So we have 5 forces model of competition in IOI Group. Firstly, bargaining power of buyers. Second, substitute product of firms in other industries. Bargaining power of suppliers. The threat of new entrant into the market. Rivalry among competing sellers. So this here I want to mention about the rival of IOI in plantation sector, which is Felda Global Venture FGV, United Plantation, Bostek Plantation, KLK, Kuala Lumpur Kepong Berhad, and Kumpulan Getri, that known as Saim Dabi Berhad. Alright, so the next slide we will proceed about the SWOT analysis. So this is the figure of SWOT analysis that we made. What interests in the strength of IOI? they have integrated business model. In this model, the supply chain of the product is continuously because they have the plantation upstream and resource-based manufacturing in downstream supply chain. For the weakness, what we interest to say in here is about the unresolved land conflict. Recently in Indonesia, there are movements that protest about plantation that made by IOI, the organization known as Greenpeace Indonesia. Because of the deforestation that made by IOI Group, the green forest represent the community try to stop IOI from continuously deforestation activities. And then the opportunities that IOI have in plantation sector is the emerging biofuel market, palm oil consumption increase, and acquisition of interest in palm oil estate. I would like to mention here about the emerging biofuel market. Recently, Indonesia and Malaysia have their own idea how to make the palm oil demand increase. They use the palm oil to be the biofuel product. In Malaysia, we know the B20 diesel. In Indonesia, they implemented the BT3 diesel. So for the traits that we found here is economic crisis and foreign action and tariff. Okay, so we move to the next slide. This is the value chain analysis upstream for IOI Group. So this is the plantation process from the breeding of the plant and to the extraction, and then they send the half finished product to their resource based manufacturing. Okay, so this is the value chain analysis for plantation upstream value chain. Okay, so here we see the value chain analysis of plantation in IOI Group. So the support activities in plantation areas in resource-based manufacturing is still same, but the primary activities is different. From the previous slide, we can see how the process of the primary activities. Okay, and then this is the integrated value chain downstream of resource-based manufacturing, IOI Group. They producing the oleochemical and specialty oil and fats that will generating a product that can be used to producing the finished product. Okay, so this is the value chain, and the primary activities have shown in the previous slide. Okay, so this is the strategy analysis that we found from IOI Group. So the diversification of product and business. They have upstream plantation and downstream resource-based manufacturing. How the IOI promote sustainability and corporate responsibility project. In Roundtable Sustainability Palm Oil RSPO, IOI is one of the decision maker while this certification was implemented, and also same with Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil MSPO. In addition, any smallholder or palm oil estate or palm oil mill, if they didn't have the MSPO, Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil, they will execute or suspend from producing palm oil product. Okay, so we move to international strategies, which is acquisition strategies that been used in Indonesia. IOI Group cooperate with companies in Indonesia to expand their business internationally. For the performing other relevant strategies, we found that IOI Group have their cost strategies, which is low cost strategy, and fully ethical business practices. Okay, next we move to the summary of analysis. We found that the efficiency of research and development team had been grown. IOI Group to be the one of the biggest plantation and properties company in Malaysia specifically, and well, generally. So the local strategy with high quality product will attract their customer and obtain the customer satisfaction. What we've interest also here about the how IOI overcome the economic inflation during the pandemic outbreak. So we think all the strategies that made by IOI is well think strategies. Okay, so our recommendation, we have 3 recommendation how IOI can improve their operation to gain more profit and more environmental sustainability. So the first is replanting program, second is effective corporate culture, and broad differentiation strategies. Okay, so the conclusion, IOI is one of the best palm oil plantation based company in the world. So next we move to focusing on internal and external problem. And lastly, the future of IOI Corporation Berhad will affect the Malaysian development because IOI Group is one of the factor that influence the Malaysian economic stability. Alright, I think that's all from us. I have attached the link of corporate video in IOI. Maybe if sir interest to have to take a look on the video, I think the video is very interesting. That's all from us. Thank you very much, sir.